welcome to another episode of the Do It For Yourself podcast. I am your host, FOXANNE.
And I am your host, Laura, and this is a podcast for creatives, by creatives.
This podcast is a mix of realness and feel-good vibes. I feel like I always say it the same way. This podcast is a mix of realness and feel-good vibes from your two new northern besties.
So this podcast, this episode, is going to be all about working from home versus working from a studio.
To studio or not to studio? Or to
that
office
is the question.
Or not to office?
Yes, that's the question.
Because we're in opposing, well, not opposing sides, but we're in different predicaments.
Yeah, and
right
I do feel like, I feel like people who aren't self-employed are also going to have like thoughts on this as well because of the pandemic, because they've been from office vibes. Yep. Pretty much everyone has been from office vibes to working from home vibes or not working at all vibes. So yeah, we can discuss that. See what we're thinking. So how have you been this week?
We have to preface this. We're starting off this podcast strong. We have just filmed episode 3.
We do batch recording, so every 2 weeks we film 2.
We film 2.
Get them out of the way.
Because obviously we do have businesses to run. But yeah, no, so we've just filmed the last episode.
We're a bit giddy.
That episode was just a bit all up in the air. We had to stop filming halfway through because my battery ran out and I forgot my charger. I had to get an Uber home. And then we got distracted by mayonnaise and hash browns. And so we are a little bit up there on the giddy scale.
But I think that's perfect.
We're calming down. We're fine.
I don't think we should calm. I think we should be giddy. This is perfect. I love it. I love a giddy vibe.
I love a giddy vibe.
Yeah, so when I say, how have you been doing this week? How have you been doing the last 10 minutes?
The last 10 minutes, good. I had a wee, which was great.
You did, yeah. Well,
fabulous. We got changed.
We did get changed, yeah.
Do you have anything to catch us up on? I was looking at your earrings then. They just look
the
like
well old.
They're
like dead rusty.
Yeah.
You can't tell
I was like, that one's a different colour, yeah, because that's rusted.
Well, maybe one of them's silver, one of them's gold. When they're just so rusty you just can't tell.
Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, yeah, no one will know. Maybe I have to cut that bit out so no one knows. Well, joking. Yeah. But what was I just going to say? So I look like I'm from EastEnders.
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible.
Yeah. I said you look like an extra on EastEnders. I think it's the hoops.
I think it's the hoops and the half up, half down situation because I feel like that's very,
Not necessarily EastEnders. Maybe like 80s. I think you're looking very 80s.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I've got a bit of a weird style because I've not really got one. Like 1 minute I'm wearing something this and 1 minute something completely different. You look so fab today, by the way. I can't deal with it. I saw her coming out of my toilet and I thought,
I needed my hair up because my hair was doing my head in. My fringe was annoying me. So I've scraped my hair up on top of my head. It looks like I have like a bird's nest, so just ignore that. That's fine if you're watching on the YouTubes.
Yeah, and sorry if you are listening on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. That was a bit pointless, wasn't it? But I mean, it's good sometimes. It's like reading a book. It's good sometimes to picture while you're listening. And,
so if you're listening to
I'm wearing purple.
If you're listening to the audio, I'm wearing pink and red Lucian Yak face dungarees with a tight maroon polo neck, and my hair
it's very
scraped
gorgeous.
up on top of my head, and Laura's wearing purple.
I'm wearing purple, basically,
Yeah, you are a lilac gal.
I am a lilac
gal. Gorgeous gal. Right, stop.
Yeah,
I need to stop
gorgeous,
saying
gorgeous
that.
Gal. Oh, I do sound like I'm from EastEnders now. Gorgeous.
Because that's
gorgeous.
the accent. It probably is.
As you know by now, I'm very bad at accents.
Should we just jump into it then?
Yeah, one thing I didn't mention though last week about how I was doing and all that sort of stuff. I took my cat on holiday. I thought that would be a really good thing to talk about because it's very out of the ordinary. Went on a spa break weekend. Couldn't find anyone to look after the cat, so we said, let's take him with us, and they were pet friendly and it was dead cute. We took him for a walk and everything. Yeah, to studio or not to studio. So, do you want to tell us about your journey? Where you're up to now, what your situation is, and we'll go from there.
So I was working, we've obviously gone through this if you've listened to the first podcast episode, we talk about how we got to where we are. And I was working from home, I was selling products and doing illustrator stuff. designer, creative, whatever you want to call me. I was working from the kitchen dining table.
I feel like that's where everyone always starts off,
Yeah,
the kitchen dining table.
I was where I still am, living with Max and Max's mum. I took over the kitchen basically. And then it got to a point where like my business were expanding and everything was growing, and it started off in like half of the dining table, then like it expanded onto the full dining table, and then from the dining table to the sides and underneath the dining table, and then it was like yeah, but then I had stuff in the spare bedroom, and I was like I can't, and it was a hassle.
Yeah.
So when I was packing orders, I'd have to go upstairs, find the orders, and it'd be in one of the boxes. And if it was in the bottom box, because the small bedroom is small, it's a small box room.
Yeah.
I had to take everything out underneath, and then if it was like one order that was like £3, it was like, this is just. Me and Max's mum had a chat, and she was looking for storage, because she has a shop. She was like, I've grown out of that now, I need extra storage. She was like, but you can come and look at storage with me if you like see if you can find anything. I was like, I really want like an office or like a studio. She was like, well, if you have somewhere, she was like, if we go in the same place and you have somewhere where you can put all your stuff, then when I go, I can then pick up stuff, or you can come with me, you can pick up stuff. She was like, just so then we can kind of get the dining table back.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fair enough. I'm reading the hints. So we went to two. One of them was in Stockport, so it was somewhere where it was kind of not accessible for me to get to on public transport because I don't drive. It was one of them, so you'll find like with storage places, there's two different types. So there's like the Armadillo storage, where it's like a big company, or there's like storage spaces that is more catered to like builders and stuff like that. So it's like
a bit more dingy. They're not worried about. No, they're not dingy.
Yeah, but more like so it's, I don't know, a bit darker. Like not as many lights. Like I'm paranoid about being by myself anyway, especially like at night and stuff, and I wouldn't be comfortable. The first one went, I wouldn't be comfortable going there by myself.
Right.
There was a lot of men.
Yeah.
Men that I don't want to judge, but men that had more likely to catcall you. Do you know what I mean? Do you know the vibe I'm after?
Well,
it's
the builder vibe is you walk past a building site and the cat call you.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, I know what you mean. You're not generalising.
And I felt like when I went, I felt like I was being stared at. And I don't mean that in like a narcissistic way. I felt like, I don't know, do you know when you just feel uncomfortable in the situation? I felt unsafe, and I was like, I don't know about this one, and she was like, I don't know about this one either, it's a bit dark and it's a bit of a nightmare to get to with parking and stuff. And I was like, right. And then we went to another one. We went to like a storage place that's like a storage, but like a big company. We went, and I was talking to him, and I was like, yeah, so I'm looking for this, and like she was talking, because obviously she was a big lot, like a big storage space, and I was like, I'm not really looking for something that big, like I just really want something to put my stuff in. Like ideally I would like an office, but I can't really find offices, because I've looked, and there's like studios, art studios in the centre of Manchester, but then where they are, they're like kind of down dark alleys, so I wouldn't feel comfortable going. So like if the ones that were available, like if I was to rent there, I don't know if I would ever go, because would I be comfortable going? I'm not paying all that money, especially in the centre of Manchester, to get there. And then it's obviously not just the studio itself, it's like how to get there, and do you know what I mean?
That's it for me, yeah.
So it's
if it's too far away, you won't go.
Exactly, and it's like, then I'm paying all that money for what? For nothing.
Yeah.
And just it was like, storage space. Actually, it was like, we do actually have some office spaces in here in the storage place. It was like, so you can either get an office space or, and he was telling me, so there was office spaces inside the storage bit, and then there was office spaces outside. So the ones that were outside had windows, and the one that inside didn't. I couldn't afford the office space on the outside
with the windows.
It was like £600 a month, and I was like, what? But then the one on the inside was a small room on the inside with no window to the outside. So kind of, I did have a window, but it was kind of window from the inside of the storage place.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, like £200 and something a month. And I was like, that's a lot of money. But I was like, no, but I need to do this. I need to have my own space. I need to have a space that's mine. So I went.
The next step.
Well, yeah, it is the next step. And I moved in there in February 2021.
So it's not really that long ago, like a year, nearly a year. Yeah. Well, it'll be a year since when we put this out. It's probably end of...
Yes, it was the beginning of February, and I put it. I remember I was in a vision board call with Gabby from Good Business, and she was like, let's do vision boards, like, let's try and chat about what you want to do next year. And I was doing the podcast then with Good Business. I was a regular.
I listened to that.
It's such a good podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's so insightful.
I listened to yours, yeah.
Yes, I was on that and we was chatting
Vision
about
board.
that. Was it? Yeah, so we were chatting about that. She was like, what do you want to do for like this year? What do you want to do for 2021? Like what's the vibe? And I was like, oh, by the end of the year I want to have my own place. Like I want to like have my own like studio or office space. I want to do this, want to do that. And then by February I was in. So I'd like
That's crazy. You manifested it. You manifested it in your vision board.
So I wanted it by the end of the year. But yeah, no, so I ended up moving in February. And I was like, but this is it. This is one thing I will say. You don't know what you need out of a space until you test them out.
Yeah.
And if you are in a position to test a few out, do it. Because when I moved in, I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I need. I've got racking. I've got my desk. I got everything secondhand or everything off eBay, dead cheap. I think it cost me about, I don't know, in the end, maybe like 150 quid to kit it all out because I got stuff on. I got stuff for free on Facebook Marketplace. I had friends give me desks. I had someone found like a chair and stuff. The only thing that I think I bought for that was the racking, and it cost me £90, and then something else that.
Well, that's the most important thing you need anyway for like utility.
Because I wanted shelving, but shelving's expensive.
Yeah.
And I was looking on IKEA, and I was like, I need something cheap, but then everything was like not really fit for purpose for me because I had big boxes, so I needed something kind of industrial, but something that still looked quite cute. And I managed to find like white racking on eBay, and I was like,
didn't you paint them? Am I thinking this right?
I painted the slats because the slats were brown. I painted them pink.
Love it. On brand.
Oh, very on brand. But yeah, no, so I moved in there in February and I was there and I was like, this is perfect. So I'm from Sale and this was in Cheadle. To get there by public transport, nightmare. However,
how did you get there?
Literally one stop on the motorway or something. So Max used to drop me off
on the way to his work.
On the way to his work because that's where he works around there. He does like some jobs around there, so it's like it worked out very well. And obviously if Sue was going in the morning, she was like, I can take you to this morning, which I was that's really good. Yeah, very thankful and very grateful for all, like, because they did take me to work every day and pick me up. After a while I was like, I'm not speaking to anybody now. I'm by myself, I'm away from home, and because it was in the middle of an industrial estate, there was like a little retail part behind me, but it had like a Halfords on it and a TK Maxx and a Costa, but other than that there was nowhere. Everything else was like Tops for Tiles or like a paint stuff, and so it was a very like industrial estate.
So it's not like on your lunch break you go, oh, I'm just gonna go for a walk around here and like
because everything was industrial estate on motorway. Yeah, exactly. So it was like, so I was stuck there and I was like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit like closed in here because it's like 100 square foot sounds like a big space, but it's not in the grand scheme of things, especially once you've got like your desk and all your products and stuff inside. But I was so grateful for it though because it helped me. So the issue that I had before going into the studio was I struggled to when to turn off. So I would work from when I go up to when I went to sleep. So I was putting in these fucking like 16-hour shifts of just headphones on, in my laptop, let's try and get as much stuff in, let's try and do Instagram and all these kind of stuff, and client working and everything. And it was just, I felt like I was really succeeding because I was like hustling and I was doing the grind.
That's it.
And it was amazing because everybody else around me was like, you work until you drop. And it's, do you know what I mean? Like on like social media and stuff, you work until you drop.
It's that capitalist society that we're in that like really praises that. If you don't hustle all
the time, you're never going to succeed. And
I
was like, like put in the work, put in the hours and take the hours. What's that, The Rock? But yeah, no, so I was doing that and then it helped me switch off. So like I'd go to the studio at 9 o'clock and then Max would pick me up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, maybe 7, 8 if we were having a late day. But then as soon as I was home,
late. You were home. See, that's what I've not got.
I would leave my laptop at the studio.
Yeah, I've not got that here. I've not got that, and I sometimes get up, go straight on my laptop, and then it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I've not even got dressed yet, and I'm like, I've not even eaten. I just go straight into it and it's really hard. And like so we're in my like little office spare room situation now, but I don't ever really work in it. I just always feel like I gravitate towards the sofa and I don't know why.
Well,
and then when
it's your house, it's the most comfortable place that you can be.
And I feel like maybe with mental health at the moment I'm just really focusing on trying to feel as comfortable as possible. So I'm always on the sofa watching Friends in the background, like feeling as comfy as possible. But then George comes back from work And then I'm still doing work at 10 o'clock at night while we're watching TV. And I think that's really unhealthy for our relationship and also very unhealthy for me. So I do feel like maybe I just need to start working in here and have this as a space.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't really know if I would be where I am now if I wouldn't have moved out into the studio space. I don't know if I would have,
you probably
would have got too much. Because that's it. It is a big commitment, like, because obviously you got to pay the rent for the studio and stuff, and that was the first time being an adult that I've had that commitment. Because obviously, luckily, like I said, like I live with Max's mum and Max, and the only really thing that I've had to pay for since being young is like, obviously when I was at uni I had to pay rent, but I mean, like, I got student finance for that.
Yeah, and it just goes straight into it, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like I don't other than a phone bill. Like, I've not really had to, like, I pay for like all my subscriptions and stuff, but like that was like the big thing where it's like, right, I have to make sure I have this every month, and I don't know if I can afford it. But then obviously because I was going to work, I found that I was being more productive in them short hours than what I was. So for a 16-hour day that I was doing before, maybe even more than that if I'm being honest, 16-hour day that I was doing before, I'm now doing 8 hours, but I'm actually getting more work done because when I'm in the office I'm like, right, okay, I need to do this and this. Right, now I'm in work mode and I've not got any distractions, and I've got lunch with me, so that's fine. I can just work through lunch and I kind of get everything done. And then it means that, like, I used to leave my laptop at the office.
That's really good.
Yeah. When I was in the office, I used to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so it was 4 days a week because I'd have Monday off. Just because I wanted like a 3-day long week. I feel like weekends should be 3 days, if I'm being honest.
I think they should be 4.
I think nobody should work.
Yeah, I think we should all just live in a big commune.
Yeah. So I think that really helped in that aspect, and that solidified to me being like, right, I need a space for me to work. I need a space for me to create healthy boundaries for work and life. I need a space for me to express myself, and I need a space for this. But like I said, it got to a point where it was getting me down a bit because I felt like I was trapped in the tin shed, and I didn't really have like for example, just to kind of give you an insight into the environment that I was around, there was like a solicitor's next door to me, and then there was an accountant. So it was kind of like people who were using it as like spaces for themselves, but it weren't like a creative space. And because it was a very like particular space, I couldn't really do anything to the space. It was like, it had like, do you know that weird, really wiry carpet and like white walls, and it had like really harsh like white lights.
Yeah.
And it was like, I tried to be as creative as I can with like putting prints on the walls, but it never really felt like my space. I felt like this was like the stepping stone to get into it. And then they started putting the prices up, and then
did they?
Yeah, so they started putting the prices up and be like, oh, you need to pay for a little bit more, and then I had to pay for like insurance and stuff on top of that. So then it got to, I don't know, me and Max were speaking about getting a dog, and it was like, we can't get a dog at the minute because where's it going to go during the day? Like, we're out all day. We can't leave a dog at home all day. Like, it's not.
And was it pet friendly, your place that you were in at that point?
No.
I feel like we had a conversation.
It was a storage unit.
Yeah. I feel like maybe, I don't know if we did or not, but I feel like we had a conversation about it. And then I was looking for studio spaces for myself.
Yes.
I Googled and I was looking for ages and ages, and I found 2, but one of them my favourite. I won't say where because I don't know whether that's safe.
Yeah.
But I found it and it was pet friendly, and I think I remember telling you. So I sent it to you and I was like, oh, the prices are really good. It's from this to this and it's pet friendly. And then you were like, oh, I'm going to inquire. And then before I know it, you were in there.
Yeah.
You were in. I had a window.
So we were speaking about getting a dog and stuff, and I was like, we can't really do that. And then I was like, do you know what, actually, like, I feel like I've outgrown this space. I feel like this space isn't giving me what I need it to give me, because I think something happened with like Max's days at work maybe, and I ended up only being able to go like 3 days a week, because obviously I couldn't get there by myself. I could, but then it took me like 3 hours in public transport. And
it's
I'm
quite
like,
restrictive, that, isn't it?
It
you
is,
don't want
especially,
that.
I don't know how to say this, but like, I don't want to be commuting to work for a self-employed job. Do you know what I mean? For like 3 hours. If I got an Uber, it would cost me £18 and it would take me 15 minutes. Right? Because we go on the motorway. As soon as we go to the end of my street, it's the motorway. So there. And then it's just right off the motorway. But, however, if I wanted to get public transport, I would have to get a tram to the centre of Manchester, another tram from Manchester to somewhere else, and then from there get a bus. So it'd take me all in all,
That's shocking.
3 hours. So I was like, I can't
3
do
hours
that.
on the way there or round trip?
3 hours on the way there. Because it'd take me like 40 minutes to town, but I'd, let's say, wait 10 minutes for a tram, 40 minutes to town, wait 10 minutes for a tram. And then it was like 40 minutes the opposite way. Then I'd have to get another one, and then I'd have to get a 40-minute bus or something like that.
Aren't you glad that I sent you that message?
So then, yeah, but we were close by this, but I don't think we'd really spoke that much.
I think we'd had our first meet up, and I think I remember you telling me about wanting a new space, and then I saw it and I thought this would be great for her. Yeah.
That was it. It was after the first meetup when we were speaking about that, and I was like, yeah, I'm looking into somewhere else. I just don't really know what to do. Like, I can't really afford much because things in the centre of Manchester is where all the art stuff is. So if that's where every
But it's expensive.
But it is expensive, yeah, and it was a commitment that I couldn't really afford yet. But like other places like outside of Manchester, all the offices and studio spaces that I saw was like the same. It was very commercial, like and like men in suits kind of offices.
You don't want that. I want to rock up in my trainers.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I got that message off you. I might have to see if I've got the message. Let's see what you put.
It probably was Instagram that I sent it to you. I don't think it would have been an email. It's very formal, isn't it?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, so the 12th of August you messaged me saying, I've seen this place with a studio space. I thought you might like it. And then sent me the prices and then sent me a link. I was like, oh my God, thanks so much. I've just contacted them to see if they have availability. So I contacted them with the impression of being like, right, it's I can get there, I can walk there. It will take me an hour and a half to walk there, but I can walk there. I can also get the bus if I need to, and it's only one bus.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Exactly. So I was like, the environment seems really nice from the website. Like, I hope they have availability and how they have space. So I emailed and it was like, I'm really sorry we've not got any availability at the minute. I was like, hi, like, that's okay. Like, here's my Instagram. Like, if you want to get in touch, like, when there is availability, if social media is better for you, but like, I'm fine with email as well. And then like 2 days later, it was like, something's just come up. You can come down and see it if you like. I've had other interest in it. And I was like, I'll be there tonight. Can I come tonight? It was like, yeah, I'm there. I'm there all day. So I rang Max and I was like, Max, we need to go somewhere after work. And he was like, oh, for fuck's sake, where are we going? And he was like, all right, studio space, that's fine. Let's take you. So I rang them up and I said, are you pet friendly? And he was like, yeah, we are for dogs, not cats. And I was like, okay, fair enough. He said, there are a few dogs here. He said, do you have a dog? And I was like, no. I was like, me and my boyfriend are looking into getting a dog, and
now you've got one.
Oh no, spoiler alert. And he was like, yeah, that sounds great. So I went down to view it and it was amazing. It was a little bit smaller than the studio, well, the office that I was in. The new studio was, but
it's still a good space.
It's still a good space. It was just, it wasn't as long, so I think it was the same width, but I think it was like a foot less long.
Yeah.
But it had more like overhead storage and stuff.
It does, because you've got like quite big shelving space at the top. Yeah, so it's really good.
I don't know if the dates are right, but I went and viewed it in like the last week of August.
Yeah.
And then it was like, right, it'll be available. That was it. It was like, right, it'll be available the last week of September. It was like, but I won't charge you until the 1st of October. So then you've got a week to get settled in, in, paint it if you want to paint it, which I wanted to paint it. I painted it all pink.
It's beautiful, just so you know.
So I got planned and I was getting everything prepared. And so I was like, right, I'm moving in on, let's say, pick a random date, the 26th of September. I was like, that's the day that I'm moving in. A week before, no, I tell a lie. Beginning of September, me and Max went to Cornwall for a holiday. Me and Max and some of his family went to Cornwall for a holiday for a week. Before we went to Cornwall, there was this dog on the Dogs Trust website called Luna, and she was beautiful and she was perfect for us. The description was like just exactly what we needed. She was still quite young. She was like 18 months old, less than 18 months old. A little Staffordshire Bull Terrier with long legs and a little tiny little staffy head. And we was like, she has a little patch over her eye. And we was like, oh my God, look at Luna. And we were showing Max's mum, obviously. Like, if me and Max were to get a dog, it's not just us that we have to speak to. We have to speak to Max's mum. Max and Max's mum had a dog, but she passed away maybe like 5 years ago, maybe. Everything was still quite fresh with it. We spoke to Max's mum and was like, oh, look at Luna. And then she was like, oh, she's beautiful, isn't she? I was like, she is. And then went to Cornwall, and on our way down to Cornwall, I was like, should we have a look at Luna again on the website?
Yeah.
And we looked, and she was gone.
She was gone.
She was gone. She weren't on it. And me and Max were so sad. All the Cornwall holiday, we was like, Luna is gone. Like, I'm glad for her. I'm so happy she's got a new home. She's got a forever home and it'll be amazing for her. And I'm so happy for her. But I'm sad that it isn't us. Like, we felt this, like, connection to Luna. And we were like, oh. And then came back from Cornwall. And, like, a few days after, we was on our way driving me to the office. Because I was still at the office. Driving me back. And I was like, I'll have a look at Dogs Trust again. I was like, let's have a look. Because we'd had a conversation. So when we got back from Cornwall, we had a conversation with his mum because we felt so gutted about Luna. We was like,
we definitely want one.
We definitely do want a dog in the future. We're wondering if this is okay. And she was like, that's fine, but I need you to know it's not my dog. That's your responsibility as a couple. I won't, like, you cover vet bills, you pick up the poop.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah. And then on the Monday on our, and I was like, okay. And I went, and Max went, Roxanne, you have to fucking stop doing that while I'm driving.
Gasping.
I was like, guess who's back on the website? He was like, who? I was like, Luna's back.
So what was the story there?
He went, Luna's back. I was like, Luna's back. He went, what should we do? I was like, we can go and have a look at her. We can go and have a look. Because Dogs Trust are really good. So, like, if you go and view a dog and the dog doesn't
gel with you,
they'll be like, we don't really think it's a good fit.
Yeah.
They do have the dog's best intentions at heart. Yeah, I think that's the saying.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, no, fine, like, we're going to see her, like, that'll be fine. So this was, I think, maybe like a week or two. Yeah, it was a week before I was moving into the studio.
And you knew that it was pet friendly.
And I knew that it was pet friendly. I was like, in my mind, I was like, if we can always apply, so you'd send off an application form, then they get in touch with you, and then you can go and view them. You have to view them a few times. Make it sound like a house. You have to meet them a few times. And then after that, they then decide whether you're a good fit or not. So I was like, we can always go and see her. Like, that's fine. Like, no harm in Max. No harm in just going and seeing her.
Yeah.
There's no harm in that.
But they always say that, and then when you see the dog that you want or the cat that you want,
exactly.
Honestly, it's love at first sight.
So on the Monday
it never is just seeing the dog.
Exactly. So on the Monday morning, I applied. I was like, I'm going to apply when I get to the office. And he was like, yeah, you may as well apply. 2 hours later, I got a phone call. We see that you're interested in Luna. Do you want to come and see her tonight? I was like,
is that the studio?
Oh my
all
God.
Again?
I was like, oh my God, I can't because Max is working dead late tonight. I was like, can you do after 7? She was like, no. I was like, what about tomorrow? I was like, can you do tomorrow? And she was like, yeah, we can do tomorrow. I'm thinking I can always, if I tell Max, because we hadn't had this conversation with Sue that we would, in the future, we would like to get a dog, but this was like 3 days.
Not tomorrow.
Yeah, literally not tomorrow. So I was like, right, so I'm thinking I can agree to the appointment to go and meet Luna, and then we can always cancel it if something happens. Do you know what I mean? At least we've got the appointment. But I was like, so what does this meeting mean? She was like, ideally, we need everybody in the household to meet Luna before you take her home. So whether that's 2 or 3 visits, we would like more than 1 visit, and we would like to get her home by the end of the week. And I'm thinking, I'm literally moving in my studio at the end of the week. What's going to happen? I have no idea what's going to happen. I was like, right, so everybody needs to meet. So I was speaking to Max's mum. I was like, right, Sue, like, you need to meet her as well. When's best? So we ended up going. The first time we met her, we all met her together. And she came over like a little bundle of joy, like proper playing with us. And they was like, oh my God, like, she's proper gelled with you, hasn't she? And she was like, yeah. And we was giving her love and was with her for like an hour and a half, and then we didn't want to let her go back, and they was like, right. And I was like, but she's ours though, isn't she? Me and Max kept, she's ours though. And they was like, well, as of right now, yes. We'll do another meeting, and then if that meeting goes well, you can take her home that night. So I was like, I don't want to, obviously I'm not being naive. I want to know, she was on the website and then she was off the website. She was like, right. So she's got some medical conditions, and...
Did someone take her back?
So somebody met her a few times, and then when they were supposed to take her home, they made it very apparent that they couldn't afford the medical thing. So she has allergic skin disease. Monthly cost at like
quite
approximately
expensive.
like 50-60 quid a month.
Yeah.
And the owner says that they can't commit to that. So then she got put back on the website, and that's why we saw her. And I was like, right. I was like, what exactly is wrong with her? Like, what is this? Is this stress related? Is it food related? There was like, we don't know. There was like, we as a charity cannot afford to run the tests on her.
Yeah.
So we don't know if it's situational. The past owners that brought her in never mentioned anything about it. It says that there's nothing wrong with her food or anything like that. The reason why they brought her in is because they said they didn't have time for her anymore. She implied that it was kind of like a cold handoff kind of thing. It weren't like
it was like, here she is, see ya.
Yeah, kind of thing. That's what was implied to us. Yeah, no, so a few days later, me and Max went back and met her again, and we was like, so she has now, and there was like,
yeah,
let's get her and you can take her home. And they gave us some food, and then we was like, how am I going to move and have a dog? So I was thinking, I'm going to be going to the studio for the first time with my new dog. So I thought,
that's quite nice.
It is nice, but ideally, in an ideal world, I would have liked to got settled first, but things happened.
Yeah, life gets in the way, and that's how you can't plan.
She really enjoys it. She has a crate, because she's crate trained. She has a massive crate at the studio that she lies in, that she kind of, that's her own little room.
Gets a little cozy.
Nice little cozy space. Yeah, no, so I think, but then, so moving into the studio.
Yeah, moving into the new studio.
Sorry, I got tangented by a dog, of course.
Don't you worry, I'm sure we all love hearing about dog stories. I know I do.
Yeah. So, so we moved in, ended up painting it with my friend Sophie, who will be on the next episode. Spoiler alert.
Here's a juicy spoiler alert. Sophie, if you're watching, see you soon.
She will be. So Sophie helped me paint and helped me like get some stuff sorted for it. She was a massive help with it, and I'm very thankful for that. But so I moved in, painted everything, moved in, and it was just, the environment was different. The environment was full of creatives. There was a cafe there, and I'd go and I'd just sit down and I'd chat with people. Like, obviously I was super nervous to begin with, but everybody was like, hi, I'm such and such body and I do this, and hi, I'm this person and I do that.
Yeah, that's
and
so
I was
nice
like,
compared to the other.
And I kind of illustrate things and make things, and it was nice to kind of have people discussing art around me, because I've not had that since uni. Do you know what I mean? And it was nice to be like, oh, I have this problem, and we can ask this person, or oh, you know how to do something that I don't know how to do, let's talk about this, or something like that. And it's been a massive help. And obviously an hour and a half walk there, and then Max picks us up, so me and Luna have a nice walk in the morning.
To kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly, a nice walk. So then by the time she's getting to the studio, she's knackered, and she's just like chilling in a little crate, having a little nap, and then she wakes up about dinner time, has the lunch, and is like, right, yes, in a bit. Sometimes she can be quite needy, because there's another dog that is outside, and Luna's she's not dog aggressive, but she's just very bouncy. She's a staffer. She's a very bouncy, excitable staffer. So other dogs, little yappy dogs, she's like, don't yap at me, I'm in charge. I really enjoy it, and I'm still able to get that work-life balance without the sacrifice of being lonely, because there's always someone that I can speak to, and it's open. I can go in whenever I want, like I have the key, and it's all locked off, and the insurance is better because it's a not-for-profit thing. Everything's in there is insured. But I really, really enjoy it, and I think it helps. The walk helps, which is something that I didn't have in the other place, because I wasn't really getting any exercise, because I was getting dropped off, whereas now I'm walking. So, it does take me an hour and a half, and my days do start a lot later, whereas like usually I'd get to the office at 9 o'clock, whereas now if I set off at 9 o'clock, especially because it's dark mornings,
it's
set
horrible.
off at 9 o'clock, I'm getting there at 10:30, so my day is starting at 10:30, which is a little bit later.
But it's nice though, because you can kind of ease yourself in, and some office jobs start at like 10 o'clock anyway, don't they?
Exactly, and it's nice, and I would have to do that anyway, really, because I'd have to be walking Luna no matter where I will go in, so I would have to get that walk in.
I guess in the summer though, when the mornings are lighter, you could set up earlier. That'd be nice. Oh, that'd be so nice. You've not experienced that, have you? Like a nice big sunny day.
Nice big sunny day. No, she's experienced the first snow. Me and Max have made the decision that Luna's life started when we got her. This is the first Christmas.
Oh yeah, of course, I forget.
So she really enjoyed Christmas. She had a little Christmas sweater on, and she got some really good treats. So we've got a little bit off tangent, but not really. So we paid for an allergy test, and now we know what she's allergic to, which is pretty much everything. Allergic to grass, wood. It's
everything.
Food, most foods. But like she's allergic to like gluten and rye, but like most gluten-free dog treats have sweet potato in them, but she's allergic to sweet potato. So it is expensive, and she's at the vets every month having checkups for like her ears or like ointment for things, because she's a white staffy as well as the skin condition that she's got. She's more prone to stuff, so she's more prone to like bad ears, and her skin is very thin.
Is she more prone to like burning? Because I know that white cats, you have to put sun cream on the ears.
Yeah, we're going to have to put sun cream on her in the new year. Yeah, she learns a lot of things. But yeah, no, so she really enjoys the studio. She enjoys the walk, and it's nice to speak to everybody. And I'm still able to keep those boundaries. Obviously, over Christmas, I had less of a routine, and I really felt that affected my mental health over Christmas because I didn't have a routine at the studio. Whereas now, I'm getting back into it. Like, I'm going, like, now I'm only going there 3 days a week, but it's still like 3 days a week. That's like, do you know what I mean? Like, a lot better. Yeah. And I think as well it'll help with less pressure because I'm not got the shop to look for. Like, I've not got, I need to go there tomorrow because that needs to be shipped off tomorrow. But actually I had this in mind, or I had this planned. Whereas now I feel like I'll want to go to the studio more, and now because it's not a storage space, I can make it more like a nice design space and a nice studio where I'll obviously, I just need my laptop, and maybe I might get like a little sofa for Luna to lie on or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to make it my own and make it my own space. That being said, maybe when me and Max move out and buy our own house, I might think about having an home office. It all depends on where I am mentally, I think.
So I know that you sometimes, so obviously you said 3 times a week, obviously 1 day a week, every other week you're here at my place doing this. But I know that you work from home sometimes. How do you find that?
Hard.
I
struggle to get things done.
Yeah, is it because like why is that? Like, what is it that you find hard about it?
I struggle to get started because I've not got a solidified starting time. When I'm at the studio, I go in and I'm like, right, work mode. Whereas I'm like, I've just made myself a cup of tea and I'll get myself some breakfast. And then I'll do this, and I'll just have a little look of TikTok for a second. Or, I'll do this. Or, I've got these emails to thing. And then Luna will come in, and then I'll be like, do you want to go outside? I'll go on then. And then I'll stand outside for her, and then she'll be wanting to play. Whereas Luna's in different modes when we're at the studio. She's like, no, Mum's at work now. I will just play with myself. She kind of she kind of plays with the ball, and she's learned how to like flick the ball up in the air and kind of
so she can play catch with herself.
Catch by herself, bless her. But then when we're at home, she's like, oh no, everybody's at home now, this is chill time. So I do find it hard. That's it, like, I don't know if I would be able to go back, but maybe when we get our own space I will be able to. I don't know. I don't know how I'll feel, because like I said, when I first moved into the office in February, I thought that was it. That was like, this is perfect for me. Whereas then it became very apparent after a few months that it weren't what I was looking for, and this is what I was looking for. Potentially in the future, we could get somewhere together.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm a bit weird, so I feel like I need to be around people, but people distract me as well. So I don't really know how it would work. I have no idea.
Where I am now, everybody knows kind of like, you don't just walk into somebody's studio. Like, if someone wants to speak to you, they'll knock or they'll wave or something.
So that's what I feel like I need. I feel like I need to be in my own space, but people are around.
Well, people are there and people will respect it. Like, if you wanted to put something on your door that was like, do not disturb doing X, Y, and Z, they will respect that. And it's a very inclusive environment. It is aimed toward low income and people with disabilities. So there's a lot of things that are there for people, a lot of people with mental health issues, and a lot of people with like learning difficulties. I don't know if learning difficulties is the right word. People are on the spectrum and people with like ADHD and stuff. So like everybody's very like apparent, and everybody's very aware of like other people's boundaries and the way people work. And like, I'm very apparent being like, I don't like people encroaching on my space. It makes me uncomfortable. And I've said that. I was like, guys, like, I'm super friendly, like, and if I'm down to have a chat, I will have a chat. But sometimes when I'm working, I just need to be left alone. And everybody's like, fair enough, we get that. Like, if you invite us into your studio, we'll be happy for that. But then also, if we see that you're working, we'll just kind of leave you be. And everybody's very understanding of that, and I think you get that in most like creative spaces, and everybody's there does like different things. So there's like animation people, there is a performance artist, some like proper contemporary artists, there's some small businesses, jewelry makers, the owners of it, he builds motorbikes, and that's dead cool, and
that's
the
amazing,
owner's wife makes cards, so and she runs the cafe, and it's just it's honestly such a nice environment. And I would love for us both to get like a big space.
Yeah.
Because they're currently building, I think, 12 new studios.
Are there?
Yeah. So
there's
there's potential for us to big space, and if we put the money together,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? We'll probably be able to get a big space for less than what I'm paying now if we share it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
maybe. Only thing is, though, for me,
Cat.
I would want to, and I know that he was like, oh, no cats, but I would want to bring my cat because he's like my emotional support buddy. Like, he's not officially my emotional support
We wouldn't be able to
animal.
share a studio then.
I know, because you got your doggy. Or maybe we could be like next door to each other and I could just like knock on and say hi.
Maybe. Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I'm not at that point
Yeah.
anyway.
Me personally, I think he would really, really benefit from going to work.
I would, and I've talked to George about it and he thinks exactly the same.
I really think you would.
He does, yeah.
Because you don't use this space. You're in the front lounge. And I feel like, I know I used to invalidate what I did. Because I was at home. I didn't feel like I was working.
I don't feel like I'm working, but I'm always working. And I feel like as a creative, you are always working because you're always thinking about ideas. And we were saying, weren't we, on that walk we had the other day, I was saying that if for two and a bit years, I have not had one day, even Christmas Day, I've not had one day where I haven't been thinking about work and what I'm going to do. Like, at night, I toss and turn. I'm thinking about Valentine's cards and shit like that. And I never switch off. Whereas, like, when I was a designer and I had a 9 till 5 job, I'd leave work and I would not think about work. I would leave work at the weekend. I wouldn't think about work. And I'd go back in. And I need that
it's very easy, and I've found, like, still now I do struggle to switch off, but like I find it easier when I come home. And like, especially when I leave my stuff at the studio, I'm like, right, my stuff's at the studio. Even if I needed to work, I can't, and I have to go there tomorrow to get it.
Yeah, that's good. So that's forcing you to go as well.
It's forcing me to go, and it helps that it's a nice environment, and it helps that there's people there, and it helps that there's no one, like, I can obviously take the dog, and I don't know, like, I'm a massive advocate for it. I think if you can afford it, I would highly recommend it because it helps. It has helped me so much with, like, my mental health and how my workload as well. It's helped me, number one, switch off, but two, know how to plan my days. Whereas when I had all day, I'd be like, I'll do that at like 10 tonight. I'll do that after tea. I'll do it then.
Yeah.
I'll do that then. Then I was like, it's 1 o'clock and I've not even finished work yet. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I've just started something, or I'm not going out and I'm not getting fresh air because that hour walk seems like a waste to me.
I always used to think that. Like, well, actually, I still think that. I think if I go out for a walk now, I could be working. And it's so annoying. It's not good.
It's not. It's really damaging, and it was taking its toll. And I think that's why we get so burnt out all the time. It's like, I don't know, but yeah, no, I really, really do think that getting an office / studio is the best thing that I could have done for myself and my business. So,
to studio or not to studio,
definitely
you're to studio.
100%.
See, so I'm on the opposite end.
As a creative, a studio more than an office.
Yeah, so you can have more of a creative space.
Creative environment. If you can find somewhere where you're surrounded by creatives, even better, because you feel more inspired. But if it's like work at home or an office, 100% an office.
Yeah. See,
if you can afford it.
Yeah. See, I probably could, but I'm not at the right stage right now where I want to, because I don't want to leave the cat on his own all day, and I want to be around. I know this sounds really ridiculous because I'm like, oh, my cat, but you need to understand how much I love this thing, and he's changed my life. I got him for my mental health, and he's like, oh, he's just amazing. And so I'm not going to bring him on the bus with me, do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to walk with him all the way there. But then also, if I don't have a car, I don't think I would go. I don't think I would.
You wouldn't do the walk?
I'd make excuses for myself, because I used to do that. So basically, I had just before lockdown, so the February before lockdown, so I was only in there for a month. Or maybe it was the end of January, I think, 2020. I had a co-working space, which was really great. Like, amazing, and I did feel in the zone, and I left work there, if that makes sense. Still brought my laptop home with me just for security reasons, but it was, how many people were in there? I feel like maybe there was about 20 spaces, and everyone was just around each other, and I felt like I was working with work friends. Does that make sense? So like, I had someone who sat next to me, someone who sat opposite me, all that, but I became like really anxious. So I'd get anxious about leaving the house and like going, because I'd be like around other people. It's really hard for me to explain.
I think that's why, I think I would be the same, but that's why I've kind of like, I like how I can shut the door and I have my own room.
Yeah, that's what I need. And everyone, it was really good. And when I was productive. But then people would come round, what is it you're working on? Can I get you a cup of tea? And then I'd be like, oh, now I've snapped out of my hyper focus that I was really enjoying, and now I don't know what I'm doing. And like, and then, and then obviously lockdown hit. And then there was a few months where I think they'd said that I could pay £50 a month just to secure my spot. For a year, I was paying £50 a month. And I wasn't going. So there was a point where I could go, and I went a few days, but then I felt like, even though they weren't, I felt like I was being judged. So if I got there at like 11 o'clock in the morning and they've all been there since like 8:30, 9, I'd feel really judged, even though they weren't judging me. It just made me feel like, I don't know, I just got really anxious. I think I was going through like quite a bad time with my mental health as well. Lockdown made me just... That was the start of bad stuff.
Yeah.
I always felt like I had good mental health until that point, I think. And then it just went really bad. Yeah, I started to feel really judged and like, I'm just really anxious about going in. I came in a couple times. I said hi to them, and then I made the decision. I was like, I need to leave. And it had been a year. So I sent an email and they were like, oh yeah, that's fine. Come and get your stuff. That was a year ago now. And I've still not gone to get it. And I've still not given them the key back because I'm so anxious. I have emailed them about how socially anxious I am and how anxious I am to go in. But for me to go in, then I'm going to have to... People go, oh, are you leaving? I'm going to have to explain why. And
no, you
like,
don't.
Oh, I know what... I'm going to...
Do you want me to come with you?
No, it's not. I'm going to like walk through the door and people are going to be looking at me like, I've not seen you in like a year and a half. Like, what's happening? And it's just... I've not really got many things there. It's just like stationery, like all my prints I brought home and like everything that I need. But I mean... my degree's there.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even know if it's still there because obviously they've given the desk up now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there, where it is. And like for me to face the fact that I've not even given them the key back, oh my God, like, and I know it sounds really stupid because I should have just gone, but I'm so anxious. Like I feel like I'm going to have a panic attack just thinking about it. And that didn't work out for me. Oh, and then since then, we moved into our place and I've got like where we are now, if you watch on the video, opposite, I've got like my desk and I've got like a chair from the living room in here. I need to get like a proper work chair so that I feel supported. Maybe then I'll come in. And then I've got like prints and stuff everywhere and like I've not got enough space and I know that I need a studio, but I just know that I won't go because that's what I did. I got anxious about going and I just make excuses.
I walk past your house to go to the studio though,
so I could walk.
So you would just walk with me?
I guess so. It's just a big step, and it's really hard. I don't know if you felt like that at the beginning.
I think when I was saying in February, I kind of moved into my own office, but it was a massive step, and it's a massive commitment, and it is anxiety inducing. It is
because it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Luckily, where I am now is very accessible, and it's very like it's not cheap, but like. It's not as expensive as what I was paying before, not as much as I was paying before, and it is. I cannot explain how better I feel and how better my mindset is towards work. I feel like when I go there, like I've got this list of things to do, and like I can. It is a big step, and it is the next step on so many people's radars. But it is very daunting, and it is like it's a commitment. It is a massive commitment.
Do you know what it is as well? Going back to the previous episode, the fear of failure. What if I go and then I can't afford it and I have to leave? How embarrassing, like I failed.
Well, if that's the case, what I did was I made sure in February, when I first moved into the office, I made sure I'd saved up 3 months rent just in case, because then, so for example, you usually need a month in advance. So then I had that month's rent, and then the month after, then if I hadn't made any money, if I'm like, right, I can't afford this now, all right, this isn't for me, I could then hand in my notice and I have that month's rent, so like my 3 months cleared and sorted.
Good idea.
But so I don't know, like I'm a massive advocate for getting your own space. It helps with, especially like a creative space, it helps with like just creativity, and it helps to be able to help the work-life balance be a lot better. And I don't know,
That is what I need. I need a work-life balance, because I sit there and I think, oh, I need to put the wash on. I need to...
Yeah, well, that's it. That's what I do when I'm working from home. I end up tidying the bedroom, or I end up doing stuff like that.
It's still work.
It's still work, and it's house jobs. And I think as well, like I was invalidating, like I said before, like I was invalidating myself. I was like, but Max get home from work, and I don't want him to get home from work to a dirty house. So like, I don't want to look like a slob that I've just been sat on the sofa all day not doing anything, but I am working. I promise I'm working. Yeah. Whereas now I feel like I've got more authority to be like, no, I'm working. I'm at work.
Yeah, you know I feel like I need that too, because there's days where I'm thinking, right, it's 4:30. I need to give George a call and see when he's going to get back from work, because I can't be like this when he gets back from work. So I'm like, hiya, I'm just wondering when you're gonna get home, you know, just so I can like start tea. And he's like, oh, amazing, like probably in about an hour. And then I'm like, right, I need to get a shower. I need to get out of my dressing gown.
Oh no,
that's
at least
what it's
you do
like.
that. I didn't. I was just come home and I'd just be like a slob on the sofa.
Well, sometimes I am, and I'm like, hi, I've not had a shower today. I've not brushed my hair.
Well, that's it, and it's stuff like that like helps me get in the zone. Like I get dressed and I get my shoes on and I tie my hair up. I don't necessarily put makeup on every day, but I tie my hair up and I brush my hair and I make sure that I've changed my underwear. And, you know what I mean? And it's like, and then I'm going somewhere, and it's not necessarily.
I need it.
It's not necessarily the space. It's almost sometimes like the getting there, and obviously the walk helps me. I kind of just let everything flush out my mind and never really listen to music or anything like that. I'm usually just walking with Luna and just chilling, and it's nice, and it's far away from home that I can't nip home. Do you know what I mean? Because by the time I've walked an hour and a half there, I don't want to walk an hour and a half back, so I'll wait until Max comes and picks me up. So I have to stay at the studio.
Yeah, I need to get a studio space. But actually, in my mind, I'm like, no, I can't get a studio space till I've got a car so I can get there. No. But then maybe I'm just making excuses for myself. Because I know that I would be more productive there and I'd make more money. Yeah. So I need to just do it.
That's what I've done.
Yeah, just
and there's so much more to document as well for like social media and stuff, and there's more like I have my own space, so when I'm doing reels and stuff, I can like set up everything. And obviously I know that you can do it here, but I don't know. For me it helps. For me it really does help, and it's not for everybody, but for me it is.
I think I'm gonna do it. Do you know what? Rewind to episode 2. I'm gonna add this to my goals. So if at the end of December or whatever we decide, let's look back on our goals that episode, we're gonna add this in. I'm gonna get a studio space. Yeah, I'm gonna get a studio space, and it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna paint murals on it.
Well, that's it. You can,
and there'll be a window. I'll do a window display on it. Yeah, and like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. George has been saying to me, Laura, you need to get a studio space. And now I'm like, yeah, George, I do.
You do. Yeah. You do need to get a studio space.
You're right.
I think you'll really benefit from it. Like me personally, I think that you will. I'm not just saying that. You don't have to come to the one that I'm at. I'm just saying for you, I really do think you'll benefit from it.
But I think I know as well.
Structure.
It's the structure, yeah. I know that I'll benefit from it.
There, if you do come to this one. You have got me, so it's like kind of eliminates that.
See, maybe I could give him a call and say, look, I've got a cat. It's amazing. I know you don't like cats and alligators.
Yeah, I really don't know if he'd do cats, to be honest now.
I wouldn't let the cat out. I'd bring him in his little backpack and I would sit him in there. And he's so good, like we took him away. I know this sounds really stupid, like, oh my God, what the fuck is she going on about? She wants to take a cat to work with her. But he's my child. I can't leave him alone all day. And that's one of the things. I got him because I was like, oh, I work from home so he can stay with me. And now, because he's like a house cat, I can't leave him 10 hours however long I'm doing a day. Do you know what I mean? And like, I'm going to be doing the markets at the weekend still. He's just going to be sat on here on his own, and it's not as if I can get a friend for him because he's got these bloody viruses he'll pass on to the friend, and then the friend will get a gammy eye as well.
But yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, but you can always do shorter days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I've got time to figure it out. Obviously, we'll take you on this journey with us.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Are you ready for a jaw-dropping Am I the Arsehole?
Oh, this best live up.
So I've only read the title.
Oh, no.
But it is enough. I know it's going to be good, and it was a year ago, and it's got like 400 upvotes.
Okay.
And 116 comments, and it's funny, right? Are you ready?
Fire away.
Are you ready for the title?
I'm ready.
Am I the arsehole for giving my cousin big boobs on an illustration I did of her?
Okay. Right.
I want to know, is this person a he or a she?
Or are they them?
Or are they them? Yeah. But like, it'd be really weird if a guy drew big boobs on his cousin.
I don't know. I feel like we're in very sketchy waters.
So my cousin, let's call her Ashley, is a pretty big video game fan.
Okay.
She likes all sorts of games but enjoys RPGs the most. What's an RPG?
Role player game. So like RPGs like I'm gonna say Wizards of Waverly Place.
Is it like
That's not what I mean. I mean
like The
it's like when you're a character.
It's like The Sims.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're playing a person.
Yeah. She has a fair share of different posters up in her room. Some of which are she had commissioned from DeviantArt. DeviantArt.
It's a website.
I should probably know that.
DeviantArt is a website.
Oh. What she likes to do is have the artist illustrate her dressed as a character, like a cosplay.
Yeah.
For example, she has one of herself as Zelda, playfully kissing Link. So anyway, being a bit of an artist myself, I decided to do one of these illustrations as a Christmas present. That's cute.
That is cute.
Final Fantasy VII Remake was her favourite game of the year, and I know her favourite character is Tifa. Is that right? Tifa?
I don't know.
And for those of you who don't know, Tifa is traditionally depicted as a pretty busy character. Oh, busty character. My cousin, however, is kind of flat in comparison, but not totally. If it's relevant, she's maybe an A or B cup if I had to guess. So I was faced with the dilemma of how to draw the boobs. This
person has breasts from the sound of that. If they know what an A or B cup is,
yeah.
Maybe. Or I don't know, am I being judgmental there?
I was thinking the same thing as you. So I was faced with the dilemma of how to draw the boobs. As silly as it sounds, do I say more true to the character or to her physique? I mean, when it comes to cosplay, I can see working with the way your body is proportioned. But since this was an illustration, I thought I would take certain liberties to stay true to the character's original design.
Yeah.
So quickly to sum this up, my sister saw the finished illustration before I sent it to Ashley. She was basically like, dude, yes, boy. Dude, what's with the implants? She's your cousin. That's creepy. I explained to her about the character's design, but after discussion, she still thought I should have toned it down. But there wasn't any time to make readjustments. Not to mention, it was already going to arrive after Christmas because of issues of getting it printed and not being able to go to the post office in time. I decided to send it out as it was. Tracking shows that she should be getting it tomorrow. So am I the arsehole for illustrating my cousin with big boobs? You're a creep, I think. But I kind of get his whole thing. And I like the fact that he's come on this to ask. To be like, am I a creep?
I don't know, because I think it is, if you notice, in video games that are mainly catered towards men, the women are hyper-sexualised, and they do usually have tiny waists, big thighs, and big boobs, long legs.
Yeah.
So I get why he's done it. I understand. I do think it's a little bit weird because it's his cousin.
Yeah.
I think he should have played it safe, potentially, for the boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
I
think I get his reasoning behind it, but I do think it's a little bit weird. I don't know. I don't design characters.
See, for me, I get what you mean, but the fact that the video games hypersexualize the women, he's still drawing her hypersexualized.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, it's weird. He is. I think if a real creep wouldn't have posted this on Am I the
No, I
Arsehole?
don't think he's a creep. I don't think creep. I think he's just I don't know how to word this. I think he's just a victim of the video games hypersexualizing women.
Yeah. He's not hypersexualized it.
No, he's gone with the theme of them hypersexualizing women.
Yeah.
So is it his fault or is it the game's
He's gone
fault?
along with the patriarchy
Yeah.
and misogyny. Maybe he is the arsehole. So I'm just having a look at the comments. The top one here is you're the asshole. Assuming you change the face to resemble your cousin, it wouldn't make sense for you not to do the same with the rest of her. And someone's replied, very this. It's more about your cousin than the character.
Yeah.
It's your cousin cosplaying Tifa, not Tifa with your cousin's face.
Yeah.
Just because a character has big boobs, it's not her defining characteristics. That's true. If he's thinking that's a defining characteristic, then he's sexualizing the character. Also, as someone who used to get commissioned to draw a cosplayer at cons, I draw them as it is. I don't attempt to fix anything unless they ask, because that's rude. Thoughtful gift depend on your guys' relationship. Maybe she will laugh about it, but you're still the arsehole. I'm also mildly suspicious given that many artists tend to exaggerate her boobs a lot. For example, Tifa's outfit in Remake doesn't actually show the line of cleavage, but a lot of fan art draws it cut way lower than it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just seeing, I don't know whether he's posted an update. I don't think he has. So he's not put an update. Yeah. So I reckon if she was fine with it, he would have put an update and say, guys, she was fine. But I reckon she wasn't, and he was embarrassed.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's very tricky waters. I think it's a hard one. I think the thought was in a good place, but I just don't think he thought about it. I think if you're unsure, if it's your cousin, right? If you're unsure, I think wouldn't you take the safe route?
Yeah, surely, especially when
Not
it comes
just
to
add
something
some massive
sexual.
chebs on your cousin. I don't know, because that's it. He has the right. He's taken a picture of his cousin and made it as if she's in cosplay and illustrated that. But
she's in cosplay. That wouldn't be her body.
No, exactly. So why has he had the boobs on this?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I think he's an arsehole. I don't know if arsehole's the right word. I don't know.
We are on Am I the arsehole?
I don't know if he's an arsehole. I do think he's a bit. He should have thought about it a little bit more. I think it's a bit weird.
So Reddit has ruled that he is an arsehole.
Of course.
In this situation. We haven't got an update. Yeah, so, there's one here that's got an award. It says, doesn't really matter what Reddit says, only your cousin's reaction to it matters, and that will decide what you are.
Yeah, fair, yeah.
That's true.
That's it. We can judge from the outside, but we don't know the full story, do we? So,
yeah. Right. Yeah, it's pervy to draw a character that has big boobs with big boobs. Are they supposed to examine their cousin's boobs to make it exact? Isn't that creepy? Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
I'm a bit
but
mixed
pretty
about
much
that one.
everyone said that he's in the wrong here. But yeah, I thought that'd be a bit of a different one, like a bit juicy. I know it's technically not about art. Well, it is, but it's more so like the behind the scenes version of it.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
The sexual side.
That's a weird one. I don't know about that one. I don't know if he's an arsehole. Maybe a little bit creepy, but also, I don't know. I'm mixed.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah, send us messages.
I'd love to know. Send us a message and tell me. Go all out. Say,
I
think he's an arsehole. Or I don't think he's an arsehole.
Yeah.
Whichever one.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. So are we going to play a game today, or do you think we've gone on a while? We're just here and there. We're like, like the last episode, we feel like we went on quite a while. Okay, so after a lot of thought, we've decided that we're going to play Would You Rather. So I've got some questions to ask Roxanne.
Have you got a few?
Oh, no, one question, sorry.
Oh my God, I'm underprepared.
I've got one for you and you've got one for me. Yeah. So, do you want to go first?
Mine is to you, Laura.
Okay, I'm really going to think hard about this.
Would you rather eat a wet loaf of bread or drink a pint of whipped fish?
Wet loaf of bread.
Really?
A pint of fish.
But wet bread. Wet bread. I don't know if I'd get it down. I think I could get down the fish because I'd just drink it. But a loaf.
Wait, is it raw bread, fish?
Just as whipped fish.
Whipped fish. Right. So there's some conditions here.
Okay.
If it's cooked fish, I'll have it. It's not like fish soup, like little chowder or something, right? Whipped fish.
It's not going to be. Let's say, right, okay, I'm going to put it in there, right. So we've got full fish. Mm-hmm. Full bit of fish.
Including the eyes and
Including the eyes, just a full fish. We've ovened it in the oven.
Cooked it.
We've cooked it in the oven.
Yeah.
And I put it in a blender with some water and blended it up. and now it's a pint.
Absolutely disgusting. You violated me. I'd rather have wet bread. Do I get to choose what it's wet with? Because I'd like to wet it with gravy.
No. So I've got a loaf of bread and I've put it under the tap and I've given you a wet loaf of bread.
Obviously, if there was a third option of neither, I would pick that. But I would do a wet loaf of bread. There's no way that I'm doing a bush tucker trial. No thanks.
I think I could easily commit to downing a pint of fish. I don't know if I'd be able to get through a whole loaf of wet bread.
Well, it depends how big the loaf is, because some loaves in the, in the co-op are little mini ones,
It's a Warburton's toasty loaf.
Wet bread. It's my final answer.
Final answer is wet bread.
Yeah. Right, let me get mine up. So I don't know whether mine's a bit boring, but, I mean...
I'd love to know what your would you rather is. What answer would you pick?
Yeah. Oh, I'm back to the beginning now. Oh, actually, this one's better. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? No, that's shit. Obviously 150. No. 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
If I did that now, I'd just see myself eating my tea on the sofa.
Yeah, but what are you going to do with the information that you learn in 150 years?
150 years, I'm going to be really upset because the world's not going to be here and it's going to have crashed and burned.
Right, exactly.
So I'm just going to ignore that because it's rubbish. Right, I'm going to give you another one instead, sorry. Would you rather be chronically underdressed or overdressed?
Overdressed.
I'd rather be overdressed.
I'd rather be overdressed than underdressed.
Imagine being underdressed at nice events like weddings. I'd rather look like I'm going to a wedding.
Yeah, I think I prefer to look. What did they say? Dress for the life you want, not the life you have. Something like that.
God. Apparently I want to be on EastEnders.
You're not going to let me live that one down.
No. Oh, look, I'm just going to ask you another one.
All right, okay, just throw them at me now.
Because they were just really easy. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just throw loads at me.
Would you rather swim in a pool full of Nutella or a pool full of maple syrup?
Nutella.
I don't think you'd be able to swim in that though.
No, neither do I.
You'd be walking on it. You'd be sinking. It'd be like quicksand.
If I could deal with the stickiness. I don't think I'd ever get the stickiness off, and I think all that sugar that's in maple syrup will just give me a UTI.
But have you seen how much sugar's in Nutella?
Yeah, but in maple syrup, just sugar.
Yeah, pretty much. But also maple syrup, I feel like it's runnier, so you could swim in it better, get out quick.
But then also the stickiness. I don't know if
I don't think you could get out of it. Right, one more. Would you rather have a personal maid or a personal chef? A maid isn't just like someone that cleans, it's someone that tidies up after you as well.
I think someone who tidies up after me, I think.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy cooking. I'm a good cook. Yeah. I wouldn't want someone taking that away from me.
No, yeah, that's
Ask me another
nice.
one. I want another one.
Right, one more.
One more.
Some of these are really rubbish. Like, would you rather be by the pool or the beach? Rubbish, that. Oh, this one's cute. Would you rather cuddle a koala or pal around with a panda? I feel like a panda would kill me by accident.
Yeah, no. I think wouldn't a panda kill me?
Maybe by accident. I feel like they're so cute, though.
I would
a baby panda.
If I knew that it wasn't going to kill me, I would love to be cradled by a panda. I would want a panda to cradle me. I just think it'd just be so soft. I'd have a nap. Whereas a koala, I'm like, I'm doing the protecting. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I have actually cuddled a koala myself.
Have you?
Yeah, when we were in Adelaide, and I don't know how I felt about it because they just pass you the koala and give the koala a little bit of eucalyptus, and the koala's just quite happy, just like
chilling,
clinging onto you, eating the eucalyptus. But I don't know how I feel. I feel like there should be wild animals. But it was in a sanctuary.
I don't know, yeah.
But it's illegal in certain states, so I don't know how I feel about it. But it was quite cute. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God.
Speaking of cute, Max has just messaged me saying, I'll let you know when because Max is going to come and pick me up. He was like, I'll let you know when I set off. Then the text like directly after saying, gonna have to wait. Luna has stepped in shit and she's trodden it all through the house. I was like, okay, have fun.
Oh no. Yeah, you do that before you pick me up, not after.
Yeah, because I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Right, unless you want another Would You Rather. I think that's it from us today.
That's it from us today. I've really enjoyed this one. I feel like we're getting into the swing of things now. I feel like next time it won't take us as long. Because as we're filming this, it's 10 to 8, and I've been here since 1.
Yeah, shocking really, but maybe it won't be shocking because when you see these 2 episodes that we've just filmed, they're probably going to be 3 hours long, so...
Probably, be right.
No, it won't be that long, it won't be that long.
No, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to follow us on Instagram, you can follow us on the Do It For Yourself podcast. On that Instagram, you can find both of our
Instagrams
pages.
Instagram,
I'm FOXANNE. This is Laura Francis Heitzman.
Hello.
And we hope you've enjoyed it, and tune in again next week. See you next Tuesday.
In the nicest way possible. See you next Tuesday. Bye. Bye.
See ya. In a bit. See you later.
You're a real one.
Okay, let's go.
Sort of, you know. I just can't work this out. I can't do it. I'm just thinking.
Okay. Let's look like we're in deep in conversation, but just like kind of stay still.
Oh wait, is this a photo?
No, I'm just going to take the stills, but if we stay still for long enough, I can get a good one.
Yeah, okay.
Do like this.
Stop it. Oh my god.
Do the ones where it's just like...
The audacity. Mamma mia.
Okay, I think we're good because it looks sad. I can't! What? Oh my god!
Praise the Lord Jesus Christ.
Praise the Lord.
What are you doing to us, God?
Okay.